this little front plate, it's actually the back plate. You just unhook it. I think that's all of them, and this pops off somehow. Something pops off. Maybe. I've never actually done this. I've only seen somebody else do this. There we go. Alright, there we go. So this guy comes off. Viewers. And you'll see something like that. Also, this top also comes off. And what you'll see are the soundboard controls. There are buttons and also as well knobs. The next thing we need is power cables. You'll see a bag like this. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
This is the bag that the microphones are in. So if you open it with the zippers, you should see microphones. Do you see microphones?
Mm-hmm.
This is a microphone. You don't want to use the wireless one, you want to use the wired one, so it has a little plug guy in the bottom. You should see some cables that look like this. And the one with the holes plugs into the microphone. Just like that, it's plugged in. And then, if you want to get a super close up, you just plug this guy into one of the inputs. So, I'm just going to plug it into one.
Did that come out of the bag?
It was in the microphone bag that we referenced earlier in part of the video.
This
cable that plugged into the microphone was found in the cable's strong box, which will be referenced later in the video. Viewers. Okay, so that plugs in there. So it's good to go once this thing gets power. You can unmute it and mute it with the on button right there until you mute it. This controls the volume of just that input. Blah, blah, blah. So once we get power, you'll be able to see that light come on. The power cord for this machine, if you will join me on the back side, there's a little door. You open it up, and it'll just be dangling down. And it's this one right here. I don't think there's any other power cords. You get the extension cord that you ran over here, and you plug it in like that. You'll probably have a power strip, but either way, just plug it into whatever power you have, and it'll be good to go. You can know it's on if you play with these buttons right here, if they turn orange when you hit them. That way you know you have power. This is where this cable comes in that I lied to you about earlier. It will plug into the back if you want to come look at the plug-in. On the very bottom, this part goes right there. And that, follow that, this needs to get plugged into power somewhere. And then you hit the on button, and this one will be on. And same cable, same spot, and this plugs into power. You need to connect your speakers to your sound system. So you're going to use the same cables that you use to hook up your microphone to hook up the speakers. So these are tied together. They're probably going to be attached just like this. You're not looking.
Because I can't see. Because.
Alright, this part is the one that gets tricky. So you're just going to pick one speaker that's going to feed into your sound system, and then the other speaker is going to chain directly to this speaker. So only one speaker is going to connect to the sound system. So we'll choose this one as our main speaker. If you look down here, there is an input. You want to make sure you put it just in this input one. You'll put the one with the little prongy ones, the male side. Plug it in. Might hear it make a little pop sound. This input is going to run to the sound system. I'm just going to put it in the output over here. What we can do now is I think we should be able to test it out. There's a very important button on the microphone It's called the on switch. It's right there. If it's set to off, it doesn't do anything. If it's set to on, it works. So you have to turn it on, not off. So now we've got our microphone coming out of this guy. You can change the volume of just the microphone with this input right here. And you can go up and down, up and down. So you can do that all day long. This controls the volume of like everything. So if you have a bunch of different stuff plugged in, like iPod, all that, you can change the volume for everything right there. So that's just good to know. So if you ever like, you can see right here that it's picking up the microphone. But if you don't hear anything coming out, make sure you check that because it might be all the way down. So that's good to remember. All right, last thing we need to do is get our speakers connected to each other so we have stereo instead of mono. So that's what we're gonna do right now. The last thing to do is get your speaker cable. You wanna go to, what is going on? Your output from here. So this is output. So it's gonna go into there. Go to your other speaker. Go to the input like you did earlier. And they're now connected. As long as they're both on.
Click one of those.
Alright, so it's plugged in now. We have it plugged into 13 and 14. So if you look down here, 13, 14, make sure it's on. There you go. Music.
I've been cleaning, scrubbing the plates and weeding out the garden deer.
So there you have it. You've got music. We're going to walk through how to do the wireless microphone. If you look at Luke, he has a wireless microphone. You'll notice on the bottom of it, there is not a place to plug it in because it's wireless, but there is a black button. That is the on button. I don't know if that one's on or not already, but you push that one, hold it down to turn it on, and then there's a little screen on the microphone, on the front of the microphone. Should have some like letters and numbers and stuff. Once it's on,
I'm trying to zoom.
once Amanda figures out how to work a camera, it'll be ready.
Oh, that's the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Okay, you get the idea.
You get the idea. Next thing you need to know is there's 3 wireless microphone receivers in this box. This is one, that's one, and that is one. Once you plug the whole thing in, it plugs these in too. So you don't have to plug these in. They come with the whole system. But each microphone is tied to one of these receivers. And what you do is in the back of each receiver is plugged into one of these cords. So this is the wire that you connect to the actual sound system. So right now we have the microphone that is getting picked up by the second one. So this is the cord plugged into the second one. You reach up here, you'll probably run it from the back, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. You plug it in up top, and then Luke has that microphone. I'm gonna unmute it and turn the volume on.
It might
Testing, testing, 1, 2.
And then you hear Luke coming out of the microphone. Keep talking, Luke. See, that's his voice, not mine. All right, so that's how you plug in a wireless microphone. Something to know, if you're not sure which receiver is attached, that's called feedback. What you can do is you can just mute the input if that happens. But if you're wondering which receiver is which microphone, on the side of each one of these displays, there's a little bar chart. And if you are talking into one of the microphones, if it's picking up on that receiver, then you'll see the bar jumping up and down. So if you look at that second one, you can see it bouncing up and down while I'm talking into it right now. And that's how you know which one you need to plug in for each microphone. Boom.